Now, after studying the first four modules, we will proceed further for the fifth module. Just to recollect what all the things we studied in the earlier modules. The first module was completely dedicated to product life cycle. What's a product life cycle and what are the various phases of product life cycle? Second, our concentration was only on product design. Third was on product development. And fourth was on technology forecasting. So these are all topics which are more or less part of the same system, but we are studying it in a very different ways. So once life cycle is clear, product life cycle, we come to know how the product takes birth and how it declines. And in this product life cycle, we have four phases. That is introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Before the introduction of the product, the most important is what is called as the product development, for which we are going to study in detail in the next four modules. Then after studying all the basics about product life cycle, various phases, various strategies in different phases, we proceed further to product design, where our concentration is basically only on the design aspect of the product. What is the steps of design, various other aspects. Then we studied in detail what are the details about the product development, what are the tools that are going to help in the product development, all those things. Then we studied about technology forecasting, means how to predict the technology well in advance to be ahead in terms of time. So you should not think from today where after 10 years where we will exactly be, how the product should be there. So that aspect we studied in technological forecasting, what are the various methods, how it is formulated, what are the different tools used for this one. And in this also we studied about how to create the ideation, that is what is called as the design thinking. In design thinking we have got five process: empathize, that is create a model, then we have got ideation, then we have got what we call as a prototype, and then the test. So after these, again we said about ideation and how ideas are generated, what are the various tools used in idea, that is brainstorming and other tools. Now in this last module we are about to study about virtual product development. It's called as VPD. See, when you develop a product, it doesn't mean that you start manufacturing it. Before actually taking it on to further to prepare a prototype, or what we call as launching the production process, this feeling, how the product looks like, it doesn't really exist in front of you in the form of any model, but it is virtually placed before you, right before your eyes, through some different technological developments like your headgear or your laptop. So that is called, that concept is called as, first, before going for virtual product development, let us study what is virtual reality. So this virtual reality we are trying to apply it for VPD, that is virtual product development. So virtual reality is a wide term which can have its application in varied areas. Our stress is only, our concentration should be how virtual reality is taken help to develop the product, that is called as virtual product development. Okay. So what is virtual reality? So just before proceeding on these slides, and all these are all various slides are there, all the information you might already be knowing and they are available. So let us imagine that you are constructing a house, for that matter. See, when you are constructing a house, so when you start construction, it is built of concrete, mortar, bricks, and all solid structure, for which it may take about a certain period of time. Once the plan is ready, then you go for construction. So now, before actually your house is constructed, If you really have an idea how our house looks like, that is called as elevation. Okay, fine. The architect gives you elevation for which you can see front view, top view, side view. The plan is ready, area is ready, estimation is ready, everything is ready. But still to be more happy or more satisfied, if the architect creates the same model of your house on the screen and you have the feeling as if your house is constructed and you are staying in it. See, listen to what I'm saying. It's an imagination of things before your eyes. What sort of imagination? Your senses should feel. You should have the feeling that you're staying in the house. See, it's called as, suppose I'll further, it's called as 3D walkthrough package. See, they give a feeling such that your house is, you're already, see, like your house is ready, how it looks like, okay, fine. The door opens. So you put the knob, there is a sound, the door opening sound. You feel that as if you are entering your house. Then you go into the lobby or the foyer or what we call as a small veranda. There you can see the lighting arrangement, painting, seating and all. Then suddenly you take a left turn, you enter your hall section. Then you see the windows, light, colors. Then from there again step movements are there. There is a visual effect, sound effect. You enter your dining hall. You can see the kitchen. You can see your rooms where all things are placed. Then you can climb the staircase. You will have an imagination as if you are climbing the staircase. Nothing exists, but your senses, your imagination, you feel that things are right in front of your eyes. That is called as virtual reality. Something which is generated in front of your eyes. See, that is called as imagination. Here in this all process, if you feel that something needs to be changed, you can change it. And what is the change you can notice and you can feel the notice. It is not about seeing, it's about feeling. You have to visualize, your senses should feel. You should feel the feeling that you are interacting with the house as if the house you are already about to construct is already constructed and you are staying in it. So that is the ultimate goal. So now with this example, all these things may be clear how important it is for you to visualize things and make the changes. So what happens if you construct an house, afterwards you are going to make a change, it'll take a lot of investment, money is wasted, time is wasted, and yet you may not be satisfied to the level what you are expecting. So this tedious process can better be avoided or eliminated by using the technology of virtual reality. So briefly we'll study what is virtual reality, then we'll proceed to how virtual reality is helpful in this product development process. That is called VPD, which we'll study further. So now what I said, I'll summarize in these 3 points. There are 2, 3 slides. See, first you can visualize, you can manipulate the objects, and more is interaction. How you interact through your senses, feedback. The staircase, when you climb the house, it's very tedious. So let's not make it tedious, let's make it straight that way. So virtual reality is just imagining. 3 things are important: visualize, manipulate, and interact. Okay. Now, what this could be: a simulated real world, something which is front of you, fantasy world, or something which you create for use of data. So now simple words, what is virtual reality? It is use of computer technology to create some effect of 3D feeling. See, not 2D, picture you can see, but it's a 3D which gives, see, it's a 3 axis spatial. You feel as if the thing really exists right in front of you. Okay. So you see it, you feel it, you can change it, you can adapt it, and your senses can really enjoy the difference. So this is what about virtual reality. So 4 things are important here. First is a 3D virtual world. Immersion means how you are involved. Sensory feedback means how your senses really I give the example of the house. No, you feel as if you are going in the house. The door opens, sound effects, as you steps, as you walk the steps. It's called as a walkthrough package. There are all those feelings, sensory feedback, and then interact means what? You can interact with the model. See, like a house model is there. There is a door. You can manually open the door. It is interaction. So the same example what I've discussed here, this is the house, you can enter it, feel it, open the windows, close the windows, change some furniture, change the colors, change the direction, whatever is it. This is giving the real feeling of the house. This is called as virtual world. That is the first element. Second is immersion. See, there are the image feeling. See, the virtual reality means it is not only about seeing in the screen and feeling of 3D, like you watch your 3D movies. There are some headgears which you can fix it to the eyes. Your ears are having good sound. When you see through those headgear, you feel that you are taken to a different world altogether. Not here. That's called as what? Both mental immersion as well as the you are carried out in some different world. A world which will totally get you involved. You get involved. Immersion. Immersion means what? Sense of you feel that as if, as I said, that's the same example I can take. As if the house is not there, but you feel that the house is there. Like, okay. Sensory feedback. What are these? Are all things you can see. You can hear the music or the senses ears. You can have visual effects. How things look in day, morning, afternoon, night. You can touch them, tactile. You can feel it. You can move it. Suddenly, heavy wind comes. What happens? You can have the feeling of tree. It is more or less taking you to as much real as possible. Next to reality. For that, what you require? Display technology, computer monitor, some advanced softwares have come, headgear still technology is doing. See some of the things I've shown here. These are things which you can put onto your eyes and you take up the journey into the real world. How really things. They are called as VR4, simulation eyes, and other glasses. These are some of the examples which I have given you. See, even your 3D screen, 3D image, your normal image screen also will give the 3D effect. So these two are important. One is head mounted displays, head tracked displays. These are examples of those headgears or those devices which will help you to see the virtual reality. This is a projection based. See, spatial representation in 3D. So these are some of the projection based VR which we are talking. This is an example of a virtual sphere which you can even access to the website. The last element is you are interacting with the product or this one. This is most important. Flexibility. If you want to make any changes, you can make changes. If you want to change the color, you can change the color of the house. If you totally want to remove the staircase, you can remove. So these are all things where you can feel it through your senses, get the feeling. Based on the feeling, what are the changes you want to make, you can very easily adapt. That is interactivity. See, virtual reality, see, we are not discussing about virtual, we are discussing about virtual reality. This virtual reality, if you understand, then you can go for virtual product. So as I said, the virtual reality is applied a lot of things. In tourism advertising, they'll take you to the real feeling. Even if you don't go to any place, they feel as if you have gone to that place and as if they give you a feeling that you should go to that place. Telepresence in medical applications, scientific simulation, a lot of things. Entertainment, you can see a lot of 3D games are created which will give you a feeling that you are also involved in that game. These are all the applications. So we are not interested in all these applications, but we know what is virtual reality, what are the elements of virtual reality, how it can be used for product development. So based on what we have discussed, we redefine. Again, I'll redefine. So virtual reality is a medium composed of interactive, see one word has come, interactive, senses, simulation, and what we call as a feedback. See, these are all things we have summed up and defined it as. Virtual reality is a medium composed of interactive computer simulation that sends the participants' positions and actions and replace or augment the feedback to one or more senses. Senses, as I said, visual, olfactory, your tactile senses, whatever, is giving the feeling of being mentally immersed. So what all discussion elements four we have done now, those four elements I have incorporated and we have now understood virtual reality in a better way. Okay. So now this virtual reality is applicable everywhere in this product design process. This diagram is very, very important. So if you understand this product, now here we can take the use of virtual reality in marketing, product design, in conceptual design, detailed design, manufacturing and sales. So this is called this process where virtual reality is applied to the product is called as virtual product development. What is VPD? We'll define now. See, virtual product development is an environment where all phases, see, the entire phase of product design process uses an integrated combination of both simulation software and traditional techniques. So before the model is created, you create it in front of your eyes. So where, how? By using virtual reality. So now we have shifted from VR to VPD. Okay. Why VPD is important? It will reduce the time, better imagination, better flexibility. Instead of wasting the time in production and then making the changes, you can make all the changes. So these are all the advantages of VPD. So this virtual reality, what we are discussing, it is used everywhere. It is used in marketing, building, configuration, design, everywhere. This virtual reality can be used. This is an example of the Caterpillar, means it's a famous company that designs the jeeps and cranes, where before actually this is an operator, you can see there, he gets a feeling that as if he is handling the real life operation of Caterpillar machines. So the same feeling we try to give him. So before creating a big machine, investing lakhs together, then finding some changes in a virtual studio, you can create a driver and you can operate it as if he is really operating the machine in the real life. Same VR can also used for space marketing and planning. This is an example of another application of VR. So now we are shifted from same definition. What is a virtual product? Has four different components. One thing, it is used in design, creating the virtual product design. Simulation means it can be subjected to large number of tests. Then the test product can be said what is called as optimization. Then virtual product staging, that is retail space planning, consumer research and behavior analysis. And finally, we can use VR for digital manufacturing, that is process planning, assembly, filling. These are the four areas where we can use VPD. So now why VPD takes place? It's a collaborative web-based environment that brings all the people together who are the involved in this product design, that is designers, customers, consumers, and value chain partners to a real-time product. This is how the product looks like. What are the advantages? Time is saved, better accuracy. You can predict its performance in the marketing. Any changes you can incorporate well in advance. And because you have seen the product well in advance through all the perceptions, then there is very little error that the product may fail. And all these will ultimately reduce the cost. So in these classes, we studied about what is virtual reality, what are the various components of virtual reality, what exactly is virtual reality, what are the four components, key elements of virtual reality, that is immersion, sensors, interactivity, creation of the real world. So using this, we have redefined virtual reality. Where all we can apply virtual reality, we already seen entertainment line, marketing line, tourism line, production line, manufacturing line. But Since our scope of study is involved with product development, we are trying to see how virtual reality is going really to help in virtual product development. So then we have defined what is VPD, what are the various ways that slide will clearly illustrate where all VR is applied in product development. And what is product development means? It's creation of the product well in advance, involving all the stakeholders, consumers, customers, manufacturers, vendors, the owners, all this stuff. So these are advantages of VPD. Next, we'll study in detail about VPD, what are the various tools applicable to VPD, what is digital mockup and all these things in the next classes. Thank you.